Billy Basty if I never
Oh,
listened to the song.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, um, what would you say um, you would recommend to someone who wants to get into the biz, so to speak, of showbiz of singing? What blocks are there today? What opportunities? I mean, there seems to be so many opportunities because of YouTube and just all the new streaming methodologies and Instagram and all of those kinds of things. And yet, there's probably more competition than ever. So, any advice for people who are wanting to get into this business?
Self promotion is extremely important. I had a chance to learn graphic art so that I could create my own ads, for instance. Um, and singing in the various nightclubs around, there's open mic sessions that singers, for instance, can get involved with. I would recommend for a singer to go to the various venues and look for their open mic nights to be able to sit in because it is then that a manager can see you on site, sort of like a free audition, as it were, because just cold sales, just sending your CD or sending your promo package out to a venue just doesn't quite work anymore. They want to actually see you. So if you've got video footage of yourself, so that when you send out your packages to these folks, and for the most part, it's not hard copy anymore. Everything is online. So if you've got YouTube footage, you've got your bio, et cetera, then I recommend that you put that kind of package together.
Yeah, that's really true. It's just like uh, I get a lot of books because authors want me to interview them on my radio show. I also get lots of other materials because people are thinking that I'm booking them as speakers, and so forth. And it's true. I mean, you just get inundated where these things are never even looked at, and very often end up in a trash pile, and they're expensive to send out. So I think that's a great idea. And you never know who's sitting in the audience. That's the
You
interesting
never
thing. You
know.
never know who's sitting in the audience. And I want to ask you a little bit about that. Do you find that you attract a certain kind of follower, or are they a certain age group? Do you find that the young people like your kind of music, or is it mostly the boomers and beyond? Who is mostly in your audiences?
I would say, I'm really, really very blessed to have a multi-ethnic group of people who seem to enjoy what I do. And that gives me a great sense of pride. In terms of the age, I would say, as long as the genre of music is pleasing to the ear, I've got a nice cross section too of ages, but of course, being older, it, my presentation is the older standards, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to say a more mature. I won't say old, but I think a more mature audience member is primarily in my audience. But youngsters, I'm so surprised when I do see a youngster in the audience, and I will say to them, this music is probably beyond what you like, and they said, oh no, my mom played this music all the time, and da 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 da. So it's a wonderful thing.
Well, it's interesting. One of the reasons probably mom plays that is because I tell you the truth, I can't understand the words on the new music. I mean, I, when people start singing songs from the 40s and the 50s, I know all the words. I mean, I can still sing to the words of the things that I listened to in high school because they were songs. I mean, they were melodies, they were words that made sense. Today I thought I could probably write my own song, because actually, if you only have three sentences and you repeat them over and over and over and over again, that's your new kind of music. So I really enjoy the kind of music that you sing. I think it's really, really delightful. So the interesting thing too, I wanted to ask you about some training. Um, you have received training from the Dick Grove School of Music, from Roger Love, who I know, who's a vocal coach, and also from Phil Moore, who was the orchestra director at Universal Studios and also once taught the actress Dorothy Dandridge. Do you think people can sing naturally, or do you think they do need to have training?
Well, I think if you sing naturally, that it's fine, but there are some techniques that are provided by a vocal coach that will save your voice. How to use your diaphragm versus using just your throat, which you can, create a problem and maybe a physical problem where you may have to have surgery on your vocal cord. So, vocal training is very important. And one of the things that I'm really blessed for is Mr. Phil Moore's training. Not only did he give us vocal exercises, he also gave us performance exercises, what to do, where to place your mic, how to address your audience. When learning the song, you just don't learn the lyrics, you create a backstory. For instance, I love you for sentimental reasons. Who are you singing this to? What time of the year was it? What were you smelling? And you wrote these things down and you had to write the song 5 times along with the backstory so that when you sang a lyric, there's meaning behind it. It's just not words. You can see singers who they can sing and they can move, but you don't feel an attachment to the lyric. And so that's one of the blessings that Mr. Phil Moore provided me with.
Well, that's fabulous. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give people your website, which is www.rose, R-O-S-E, Mallett, Mallett.com. If you want to go there and check out Rose, that's what you should do. And if you are interested in her CD, do you have that on your website or strictly on iTunes and Amazon?
I would recommend going directly to iTunes and or
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay. And then the other thing is, gosh, if you're in the Palm Springs area, you've got to go see her either on Fridays at a place called Woody's, which I have not been to yet, or on Tuesdays at the Purple Room, which is where I saw her. So if you're heading out to that desert area at all, that's what you should do, because it's really worth the evening. It's a beautiful evening. The food is terrific, and it's just a great night. So that's important. So again, her website is Rose Mallett, Mallett.com. Now, Rose, we only have about 2 minutes left. Is there something that you would like to tell our audience that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, I would probably just simply like to say, I try to encourage when I'm on stage to say something positive. It's not all about ego. If the only place that you can ever see me is in Palm Springs versus becoming some huge star, I am very, very happy and full of gratitude to have had this opportunity to do what I do, to do what I love to do, and to encourage people to follow your dream. As you mentioned at the top, don't allow the chronological age to be a stumbling block. Just be encouraging in whatever you do.
Well, those are wonderful words to leave our audience with. So thank you so much, Rose, for being with us. And again, if you're in that Palm Springs area, go see her, check out her website. It's delightful. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Dr. Carson. I certainly appreciate it. Happy